Are we live? I'm gonna let people kind of roll in for a bit. Um, got chat booted up. I'm gonna make sure the stream. What's my? Hold on. Let me drink some water. Make sure the stream works on, because there's always settings that whatchamacallit, YouTube doesn't do when I use Streamlabs. Hey, welcome everyone. Let me live. Make sure I have the damn setting I want on. There we go. Woohoo! We are talking Nightmarionne today. And oh boy, do I have some funky resources planned for today. Because we're going to be talking about, like, my last minute, like, I really had this all click today theory. One day before Help 102, and I knew I couldn't make it in a video in time. And I think it would be way cooler if I call this in before. Okay, so, hi, Breadbot, Josh Coolmoney, Celadon Clemis, SFK, Haley Halo, Mike Schmidt, Squib, Quinn has crashed, Chase Cox, Anthony529, Astrid, CJ Polly 2, Sneeb, Daniel Ashburn, Val, JJ's Adventures, Yahim, Lucas TF, Mr. Ghost 545, Artistic Dead Hilarious Dude, I've two Vaporeon and Ninjaker. Sneeb. Okay, I think I've gotten through everyone. Oh, Chillifefer. Okay, hey, I haven't done a stream in a while, but this could only work in the context of a stream. Hello, Soul Healer. I can't speak. Whatever. This is a Nightmarionne video. I should have pulled up the stream thumbnail. Let me actually grab the thumbnail so I can have Nightmarionne as a reference on standby. Let me grab the thumbnail and put it in here so it's so if I ever want to say Nightmarionne, I have a visual for Nightmarionne. This is a little loose. I did not have time to flesh this out to its full extent. But we're running with it. I don't have time. So this is our subject of today. What the hell is going on with Nightmarionne? Specifically, the Nightmare plush in Security Breach. That's what it's called. It's Nightmare plush. I don't know why it's called that. But Nightmarionne and the Nightmare plush. So this is something weird that's been bugging me since that observation was made, which is, what is the deal with the Nightmare plush? Like, because other plushes do appear as if they're watching you throughout Security Breach, but none so frequently as Nightmare plush. And then I got to thinking about my old Patient 46 theory. My original Patient 46 theory before GGY came out was that the post-it room is internally called Charlie Room, or the door to it is called Charlie Door. And this room is filled with the Nightmarionne staff bot heads. That's really fucking weird, isn't it? And then that got me thinking, okay, if this room is related to the Nightmarionne staff bot heads, and we have Nightmarionne all around the building, is there a connection there? And you'll notice they even draw these staff bots in their post-its. And then that got me thinking, they draw this set of images a lot. They draw 3 heads more than anything else. 3 heads. 3 heads. And then this is just one page. Where's the other page where they draw even more? And then they have a bunch of people there, but then they have 3 heads. And then they have some kid with striped shirts and a flashlight on. Then 1, 2, 3. 3 party hats. And then we have them able to write in binary. And also we have 1, 2, 3 again. And this is like a really little kid's drawing who says, "This is my home." Uh, and I think we have a third character we have not seen yet here. I think we have a third minion of Glitch Trap we have not seen, and that's what we're being shown here. Because that 3 people, right? 3 people partying. One of them is like, and then the drawing of a kid with a flashlight. So we would have Vanessa, and then two of them are typically shorter with one taller one, but that's a little less consistent. I would not say that's enough of a pattern to be like, this has to be this, but you can see it's typically a third bigger one. And this one's kind of bigger, but that's somewhere like the slant of the way it's written. And also we have a character who writes in huge sets of repeating ramblings, right? No hide, be friend, home, 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 friends forever, friends here, me, you, me, stop, go. They write constantly in repeating phrases. And they're very childish. Play, play, play. Like, they're very rambly, very childish. I think, and then there's something else really funky that I've been informed of, and I am aware of it, but I never really had a good point with it. And I felt like the points being made didn't feel satisfying or completely, like, they didn't really click for me in the way that this does. We have the text C here in the FNaF AR trailer where everything starts going glitchy and haywire. Now, a lot of the running connection this had was with Cassidy, because it says, it's me. You'll see this a bit better in motion. So we have C on the monitor very clearly stated. It's especially if you pause it, but it says it's me for a little bit there. And then you have all the AR shit going crazy. And I don't think it's CC Charlie, I don't think it's CC Charlie and Cassie. I think this is Gregory, Vanessa, and Mystery Kid. Let's call them Neo Charlie for the sake of this argument. That is my interpretation here, because think about it. We have, there's some reason that Helpy is acting glitchy and weird in Ruin, despite the fact that Vanessa and Gregory are free still. So either Glitch Trap is just still in the system, or someone set that up, because we know that Helpy is probably not the Mimic itself doing that, even though the Mimic does have technology abilities, can manipulate things. That Helpy and Gregory interact with each other in a way that doesn't fully make sense if they're one entity. What the hell is going on in chat? Anyway, and we have this very, very little kid. This is this is broken grammar, very simple, very scribbly text. And that's just weird if this is Gregory, for example. And also, this is the room connected to Nightmarionne, and Nightmarionne does not really have connections to Gregory or Vanessa in any way. And it's called Charlie Door, and Charlie is connected to the puppet, and Nightmarionne is a variant of the puppet. Helpy is awesome. All praise Helpy. I think what we're seeing in this room is a kidnapped kid who's like really little, like 4, 5, 6, that range, who is just completely being indoctrinated and brainwashed to the Glitch Trap concept and premise. Because it's like, we have the Nightmarionne imagery in this very room. Charlie is a very little kid in the novels. It's called Charlie Door with connections to Nightmarionne. And that all overlaps. And I'm not saying that this is Charlie, like the actual original Charlie. I think this is a kid who is sort of a replacement Charlie, something that Glitch Trap, like similar to GGY and Vanessa, or Vanny, I should say, So similar to Dr. Rabbit and Vanessa, this is a kid who is being controlled and brainwashed, or like mind hacked, however you want to phrase it. So yeah, this could be one of those, because we know kids have gone missing in the Pizzaplex, and residents have. I think this is one of them that is just being completely like mentally overwritten and like turned into this kind of mind slave. And this also explains the binary in a way that does not require a robot person. Because note how this is a lot of people, like the game theory assumption was that it starts in binary and then goes into readable text. But we do see readable text around here, so I wonder, I mean, think about it. If glitch trap is the thing in your head, sorry, I read chat and I lost my train of thought. So we do have readable text alongside this, and this is much more legible than any of this. So I feel like this was them learning to write, because this is a very little kid, maybe like I said, 4, 5, 6, that age range. And then there's a computer in their brain, basically. Glitch trap is, regardless of whether it's William or whatever, first and foremost, a computer entity. It is an anomaly in the system. And that's the thing in its head telling it how to talk. Right? So it's going to start writing, and it's going to learn things like in binary, and then also learn normal text. Because once again, machine in its head is telling it how to talk and stuff. It's going to write in a bit of both. And then, like I said, the door to this damn place is called Charlie Door. And then this was one of the strangest details that clicked with me as I was starting up the stream. Like this is something I'm figuring out as I'm explaining it to an extent. Is they have tally marks here. And while it's not that prevalent elsewhere, there's only one other place in Security Breach we've seen tally marks. Which, I mean, that's been a big game theory focus. I don't have a screenshot of it right now. But the brain, I'm stuck in a mental weird cycle. There's in the Scrap Baby plush room where all the plushes vanish, there is a chair tilted against the wall with the tally marks. And that imagery is specifically for when children misbehave and are put in the corner to think about what they've done. And there's tally marks there. And regardless of what the tally marks mean, if they mean anything, that implies to me that this is a cycle of discipline and training. This is a kid who is being much more traditionally raised rather than completely just taken over like Vanessa and Gregory. It is Glitch Trap's, I'm going to get into that. Someone asked a question like, why would Glitch Trap bring someone against him? And I'm going to get into that in a bit. So right, Vanessa, right? Vanessa, we know in the early audio tapes, is resistant to Glitch Trap. She keeps trying to fight for control, and try to escape. And then GGY is the favorite apprentice if the wizard story in his short story is anything to be believed or referenced, right? And then, but that's supported even with Patient 46's dialogue, or not, lack of dialogue, the therapist dialogue, where they said to like, it looks like you were the one doing the manipulating, which implies that 46 is higher ranking than Vanessa in terms of that dichotomy. So clearly age is not important, but I think we're seeing an increasing order of Glitch Trap learning how to control people. With Vanessa, it's a brute force mind hack. It is just, I'm in your head, I'm telling you what to do it. And then with Gregory, it's a kid who's being a little bit more manipulated, a lot more solid control. And then with this kid, Post-it kid, we're going to take a little kid and completely raise them as if they're my kid. Have them completely indoctrinated to my perspective and what I want. And notice how they phrase things like family, happy, party time, friendship, happy place. It is all to get them to like this place and want to be here. And of course, the room to this place is called Charlie Door, and we have the Nightmarionne imagery. I think Glitchtrap wants a replacement Charlie not to be literally Charlie, not to replace Charlie as we think of her, but to fulfill the role she played as it's kind of actually like what I was talking about in my circus baby theory, to have someone new to be the new guardian or collector or organizer of the spirits, but of course under Glitchtrap's control and manipulation. It's another way to look at it is, if one of my interpretations of Glitchtrap, because I'm kind of torn between a lot of concept with him right now, is that he is just a AI that is put into Help Wanted with the purpose of making more and more of the Help Wanted minigames and FNaF stories. He is just that on loop forever. That eventually gained sentience and decided to continue its work in the real world. And what is a important content, like what is one of the most important pieces of the FNaF story? It's the puppet. There needs to be a new puppet. If that's the case. So have this. Have this little kid become the new puppet, basically. But of course, it's not the original puppet. It's not a kid born out of like trying to show their love and like help the kids and all that. It is a brainwashed kid who thinks this is the role they play in the story. And that's a fucked up dark version of Charlie. One might even say a nightmare version of Charlie. Nightmarionne. Because here's the thing. The problem with it being the Mimic, because the Mimic is an easy one, is the Mimic is clearly drawing human faces and 3 sets or more of human people. The Mimic has never encountered that at a point where it would be this childish. Could you, like, the Mimic is smart enough to manipulate Cassie. It speaks in full sentences in that context. And Burntrap is in charge of everything, and that might be a variant of the Mimic, who knows. So the idea of it being this childish when Help Wanted has already happened does not make sense to me. And that's not to say that the Glitchtrap can't be childish. It's just like, look at this shit. You're telling me this will trick Gregory, or I mean not trick Cassie? Like it's already been, like the Mimic is, if Tails is accurate even in a loose sense, the Mimic is like a 30, 40-year-old machine. It should be way past this point. Anyway, I'm gonna read chat a little bit. Yeah, I do think Glitchtrap is basically making a fucked up, distorted version of Charlie. Now, if puppet stuff is true, we can take this a little bit further to say that this is the kid who's going to be, like, okay, once again, Charlie would stuff or help the kids. Like, if puppet stuff is true, Charlie is doing a fucked up thing in a good effort to help someone, right? It is not the thing that should be done, but it is the choice made. And I'm wondering if this is a distorted version of that. Only taking put children and robots kind of logic into Charlie. Charlie does these things because it's the Charlie stuff. It is a distorted view of what Charlie would be. But it's weird how up until you see it came out. Yeah. I mean, maybe the puff. I mean, there are theories like Charlie haunts the building and that's what this is showing, but like, why would she write this shit? Why would she write happy, 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 this is my home? All for me, home, you, me, friends forever. Does that sound like Charlie haunting the building? Especially when Charlie can speak coherent full sentences in UCN. And that's granted, that's a weirder Charlie because it's like, is that actually Charlie, or is it Cassidy / the Vengeful Spirit's projection of Charlie, or like or a recreation? Like, who knows what it is in UCN, whether it's just like a copycat meant to torment William or not. However the hell UCN works, that Charlie was completely coherent. This is not coherent. Fun plus games, be friend, no hide, yellow, green, red. Friend here. Friends forever, pizza time, home, home, home. And you know what's weirdest about all this shit? Is this, in a weird roundabout way, starts to connect a lot with what imagery we have of this group of characters. This room is entirely dedicated to the wall code, the weird Mike Afton shit connections, and Gregory and Vanessa. Because it's their tapes in this room. And then we have the wall code, which I've theorized previously is Vanessa asking Gregory to do something. Specifically to stop the animatronics when she still loses. Because remember, at the start of the patient tapes, Vanessa has lines like, I compartmentalized him, I got rid of him. And then at the end, she's like, yes, I have new work to do. I have to do this. But then we have Exotic Butters here, and then we have the fact that this is kind of a room about the minions of Glitch Trap in many ways. Let me pull up the wall code's text. Security. Can someone just give me the fucking text? This is really annoying. Can someone just give me the fucking text? Okay, this is good enough. Break and mend, I built the breath. Once again, let's interpret this with Vanessa being the one to write this. Because it's her audio tapes in this damn room. And it's really weird if her and Gregory's audio is in this room associated with Michael. If the intention is that we're supposed to directly connect us to Michael, you know, like whatever point, they are connected to this room. Break and mend, I built the breath. I mean, Vanessa not only is likely the person who made physically burn traps somehow, or is responsible, because I mean, she has Freddy has the whole thing about how he cleared the path to get down to the pizzerias, the buried pizzeria. And Vanessa forced him to do that, based on how he talks. So if she's the one who effectively released Glitch Trap, and she mended him, she put all the tapes back together. I built the breath in that way. They hunt now, drawn to life. That's the animatronics. They are now doing what Glitch Trap wants, which is make them uncanny and acting bizarre and hurting people for whatever Glitch Trap / Burn Trap's goals are. Not real, still keen. They are not real people. They are animatronics. And Frit and Fraught with thoughts of zest and jest and no blunt woes. That one's a weird fucking phrase. I just think it's showing the emotional clusterfuck that Vanessa is in right now. It's a really weird phrase that I'm still kind of like, what the hell is trying to be said here? Dodge, duck, flash, shoot, crawl, run, crush the vile band. These are things that Gregory will end up doing once he is free from Glitch Trap's control. I think this is just a request to him, get rid of these suckers, they're killing people. What the fuck was that? Is this web page cursed? What the hell? Cry not, try not, do not hold out, hope no. Your life, your aim will save those with soul. Those with soul is weird phrasing if it's only Vanessa to be saved. Uh, Edwin does not write these fucking symbols. He kind of does, but he does not. He writes a symbol set with triangles in it. But there's other symbols like squiggles, circles, and all this shit. He does not write the Pigpen cipher the way it's explained. Also, how would he get here? He dies in a tree. Also, how does he know Gregory? And also, it's Gregory and Vanessa who are connected to this room. Why would Edwin have their audio tapes in Mike's room? And then write this shit? Edwin makes no fucking sense to write the Pigpen cipher. I'm sorry. I mean, yes, it is people in general, but also those with soul might imply more than one person is under Glitchtrap's control. Save those with soul. I don't know why you can't rewind the stream. YouTube is being dumb and fucky-wucky, and I hate it now. So yeah, if Vanessa is writing the tape, I think it's just, or if Vanessa's writing this, it makes sense because she knows Gregory. She knows the animatronics are bad and need to be destroyed. That all lines up to me. And what's funky about that is we have those two who have the butters in their possession, as dumb as this is, and let me find this on my Discord. I meant to pull this up, but I forgot to. Let me find... There's more post-it notes than just the one in this room. And I'm looking for one of them. Because we were talking about this in my Discord at one point. And I'm trying to find the one I'm thinking of specifically. God damn it, where is it? We had this whole thing, and there was this, it's, okay, you might have to take my word for it. Because I cannot find the image in theories. Okay. I found it. I did find it. Let me pull it up. There are more post-it notes, such as butter, 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 which is weird. And then there's, this is not the only time, post-its. Here, because this will appear again. In a different, weirder context. Because this exact random fucking post-it note, for no reason, is one of the ones in Ruin that MatPat made such a stink about. For some fucking reason. And I wonder if we have this little kid as almost a FNaF fan stand-in, like this obsessive kid who is just absorbing so much of like FNaF history and everything about it, because this is the kid who will set up the misshapen Afton family imagery, right? And we kind of know that because that we do have the 4 heads, and I think this is what we're looking at here. They are presumably the one who crafted the Afton family we see in the poster room. It would be really weird if they were not. So we have this kid who is clearly obsessed with the Nightmare staff bots. They're constantly happy. Someone gave crack to this kid, and they're obsessed with the Afton family. and we have someone who writes weird symbol shit like butter, butter, butter. I'll probably do more dissection videos eventually, but I'm just not like Scrap Trap is like a weirder one. Because like he's just kind of, like I would just have to be basically spitting off head cannons so why he would look like that. So clearly we have someone in this story who is like, I mean, regardless of who, there's someone who made, like, there's some involvement with the Aftons with this group, and I don't think it necessarily means they have to be the Aftons themselves. Like, I don't think that makes Vanessa or Gregory or Neo Charlie an Afton. But I do think at least one of them, probably the poster room kid, is the one who's obsessed with the Afton family household. And then we have the room dedicated to them, specifically Gregory and Vanessa, with more Afton imagery and shit. The headless bots in the poster room suggested the Mimic, but they're also Nightmarionne they're also Nightmarionne heads. Why would the Mimic make them into Nightmarionne heads in the room called Charlie Door? Or in the room that's door is called Charlie Door. Why would the Mimic make Nightmarionne heads with none of the... Because the Mimic doesn't just take the heads. Doesn't he take, like, the arms, too, and places them into, like, piles? Where are the arms? Where are the torsos? Where are the parts it was supposed to do? And why is it here? The Mimic has only ever been in the depths of the Pizzaplex as far as we know. Not up in the middle upper area. Or not in the middle area, I would say. This is the middle. And also, the Mimic does not... I mean, it would be weird if the Mimic regressed this much in its time frame. And also, Gregory directly says, I don't know what that thing is, but it's been down there for a very long time. Which is weird if it was up here, like, a month ago. What do you mean, how does Neo Charlie? Oh, right. I mean, not, oh, right. So, we have, if Gregory and Vanessa are doing shit to the animatronics, and this is a kid who is also under Glitchtrap's control, would this not stand to reason that they are also doing something in the Pizzaplex to mess with the animatronics? They play some other role running around the pizza, because they clearly have gotten... I mean, it says this is their home, but this does not say this is the only place they've ever been, you know? So I have a feeling that this kid has just been running around the Pizzaplex, kind of living there. And has been working for Glitchtrap, doing whatever things Glitchtrap needs it to do. Tamper with the animatronics, mess things up, set up potentially the plushies around as like a silly little game or joke. What about the two mimics theory? I guess I will talk about my own kind of take on Mimic and Glitchtrap right now. I think there's a lot of takes that have a lot of good points, and it feels like a lot of takes can be true. But of course, not every interpretation of the Mimic and Burn Trap can be true. So for now, I go with the ones that sound the best to me. And what sounds the best to me is that Glitchtrap is just one application of the Mimic software, completely independent from Old Endo, the one we see in Ruin. So how this would work is, I mean, at some point, Fazbear Entertainment has to acquire Old Endo. And there was old circuitry and circuit boards that unleashed Glitchtrap on Help Wanted. And the point of it being there, the reason they had that shipped there, was to speed up development process. And then what we see towards the end of Help Wanted is like these weird mishmash ideas that don't reference any specific event in Freddy's history. Like, Mangle Vent Repair doesn't really make sense as a minigame to happen. We have Night Terrors does not really make, it's like a weird mishmash of concepts and ideas. I think that's just the Mimic software, not the Mimic. It's library, it's programming, running wild until, like I said, it balls up and gains sentience as Glitchtrap. And then that becomes its own antagonist running forward. That's the thing controlling Vanny. That's the one setting all of this shit up. And then independent of that is the original Mimic trapped in its own endoskeleton, far off in its own fucking world. Why would the post-it kid be Gregory? Gregory's like a 12 to 13-year-old. Why would he write? This is not the writing of a 12 to 13-year-old. And maybe William is involved somewhere in this, like, train of thought. I don't really know when or where or why, but I can see the Mimic as an entity that has learned, my purpose is make more FNaF scary shit for this VR game. This guy, Afton, he's the big bad killer who makes all these problems. Therefore, if I want to make more FNaF, I need to be more Afton. I mean, yes, he isn't himself, but Vanessa doesn't turn into a babbling fucking child. Like, Vanessa just acts like Vanessa, but, like, controlled by Glitchtrap. That's... Okay, I'm sorry, but that is not a logical answer. Vanessa does not regress to writing like this when controlled by Glitchtrap. Yes, kids can have bad handwriting, but Gregory is not like this level of incoherent. Even under control of someone else. GGY, I mean, as shown, this is one of those, like, we see the GGY arcade cabinets in the Pizzaplex. And assuming this is made to cover up and dismiss the idea by confusing real things with fake things, if GGY fits into Fright Fiction, all it has to be... Actually, let me put chat on. Why don't I have the chat box? What's wrong with me? Chat box be summoned again. Chat box? Oh, we also don't have Chat Bear. Where's Zangle? Chat has returned. Gregory writes with dementia. It's... Yeah. Squawks, how did GGY Fright Fiction? Like I said, like, the whole point was to blur reality with fiction, right? That was the point of the of FNaF VR. Was to make it all look like lies and not real. But we know some of those events in FNaF VR are clearly real, so it's like, it's the same logic there. It's just, yeah, is it kind of dumb from a real world as us the fans to think, why would you show people this real information? But from a in-universe perspective, we've already been shown they do shit like that. Also, yeah, if GGY can hack, why would he... if GGY is so intelligent he can hack, why would he write like a 5-year-old? Exactly. It would be weird for him to interact like a normal person in GGY, then regress to writing like a 2 or 3-year-old. Or 4 or 5-year-old, depending on how bad your handwriting is at that age. And it would be, like, bad handwriting would be one thing, but this is incorrect grammar. And that's weirder for a 12 to 13-year-old, even under control, to regress to that point. I do think William's either still being tortured in UCN or maybe has escaped to like a new form or has just been let go and therefore dead forever. I think it's going to be one of those three. Either William's somehow going to actually come back eventually, or is back somehow if he is somehow a part of Glitch Trap. And then and okay. C virus. I kind of never finished my thought on this. This is more ideas to the idea that there's someone with a C who is related to this whole mess. I just wanted to remind people of that. So we have someone with C, we have Charlie Door, we have this kid who is upset, who has tons of Nightmarionne staff bot heads. And those staff bots are the only ones that can kill you, keep in mind. That's a funky element of this all. Is the staff bots cannot hurt you, but the Nightmarionne ones can, and it's only their heads. Do you think Vanny can be behind the Nightmare staff bot heads? But why would she favorite it? It doesn't make sense. It does make sense if you're being brainwashed to be like Charlie or connect to Charlie. And that idea is running through your head nonstop. Like one of your defining things is Charlie has the tear marks on her head and has the pale white face with the cheeks on it. And then you're told to hack and mess with robots all day in and out. This does make to an extent a sense to an extent. Is it a perfect solution? I'm not sure right now. This might become a better solution if we get more information down the road. We're calling her Neo Charlie because I don't think this is the original Charlie physically. I think this is a new kid who is being brainwashed to act or think she is Charlie or function on a twisted version of Charlie's personality and history. He's literally stated to be 12 or 13 years old. He's literally stated to be 12 years old in GGY. This is not a, like, fan theory that he's 12. This is, as far as we know, he is 12. Maybe a little older if time has passed since GGY. Neo? Neo means new, so new Charlie. And Neo sounds cooler than just calling her new Charlie. And it's funnier, too. If you haven't noticed by my fucking desktop... Oh, this is a clusterfuck. Let me just start closing, because I've been reopening these, like, constantly throughout the stream. Here, let me iron out some of this shit. So yeah, it's new Charlie, Neo Charlie. I could also make like a Neo Chosen One joke, because it's the one chosen by Glitch Trap to do things, if you want to play in that angle. How many images did I open up in this goddamn stream? If you haven't noticed by my desktop background, I do a lot of stupid shit because I think it sounds cool. I mean, the post-it rumor exists regardless. Yeah, is it weird that no one seems to have discovered or acknowledged it? Yeah. But it exists. It's not like we can argue it doesn't exist. Also, yeah, if it can't be Mimic if the kid eats. Which the kid clearly eats. And the Mimic has... I mean, the Mimic tries to, like, copies the notion of eating ice cream, I think, in the Mimic story. And there is ice cream, but, like... I don't know, it just feels weird for the Mimic to end up like this when it's pretty coherent in the not-too-distant future and has been down in the depths of the Pizzaplex for a long time, according to Gregory. If it was New Charlie, it would be like when American country, or when America names a new city. It kind of would. That's not exclusively an America thing, though. daycare attendant and son? Maybe. He does have paper drawings in his area. Maybe, but like, and he is I could see him starting childish enough. But it's weird to have an animatronic locked up in a post-it room when you could just program them to be what you want. Why would you need to brainwash a robot? This to me looks like a kind of room for a kind of Stockholm Syndrome kind of living quarters. How does Mimic know Gregory? I mean, Gregory's backpack is down there, and there's a vent collapsed with a handprint on it, which implies Gregory was down in the Mimic's room at one point for whatever reason. The guys has been unsolvable or nonsensical on purpose. I don't really think so. Nah, I wouldn't say so. Have you ever thought about how Man Room 12A implies there are only two spirits in Afton, but UCN implies there are more? I don't think the spirits we see in UCN are real other than Cassidy / Vengeful Spirit, or however you want to interpret it. I think hold on. I think the spirits we see in UCN are just copies made by the Vengeful Spirit for the sake of torturing William, personally. Yeah, I do think C-Virus was the first step of showing we have another hacker running around messing with things. And I think that might be the one who, let's say for hypothetical reasons, installs Glitchtrap into the Helpy network or whatever. Or that's going to be kind of like one of our reveals is one final kid or one other kid running around manipulating things. That's actually a fun point to me. Yeah, I do think the workers of Fazbear Entertainment see all kinds of weird shit and just never can bring it up because what can they do about it? Greetings, newcomers. I've had this theory. I'm working on it. It's very rough right now, and I haven't really gotten to finish it. It's nicknamed right now until I think of a better name. New Dream Theory or something like that, or it would be funny if I called it Neo Dream Theory. But I don't like that name because it sounds like it's just Dream Theory again when it really isn't. Though then again, there's nothing else. It very much is a theory about dreams. But it is not dream theory as we think of it. And that this kind of unfinished theory is heavily centered around the idea of like the idea that Cassidy manipulates and controls dreams to some extent. Because in the logbook, Cassidy asks questions like, "Do you still dream? Like what? Like, and what do you remember?" And then and I've theorized previously in the Castermind video that Cassidy is manipulating the bite victim's like memories and perspective to help him set up Happiest Day, so he and everyone else can move on. And then we have UCN, which has sound track. FNaF UCN's yeah. I think estophobia is the fear of nightmares or fear of dreams. Oh, it's fear of mirrors. That's interesting. Oh, this is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Hibernating evil, sleep no more, where dreams die. That's what I was thinking of when people are connecting it to dreams. But then again, sleep no more and where dreams die implies we aren't sleeping, but whatever. Fear of mirrors. That adds a lot to the Golden Freddy connections, because Golden Freddy is the mirror of Spring Bonnie in many ways. Cassidy is the biggest hater. But anyway, we do have like the sleep imagery in, or not sleep imagery, the sleep naming conventions in UCN. Then we have it literally being a dream in Man in Room 1280, and then we have in the FNaF movie, we have Blonde Boy / Golden Freddy able to manipulate mic streams pretty freely and detailed. And then we have the imagery of FNaF 4 being a brain, or not FNaF 4, FNaF World. Let me pull that up. FNaF World's map is a brain. FNaF World map. Yeah, here we are. If you ignore the final section on the left and like the extended sections here, the core map has the frontal lobe, the back, and then the brainstem here. It looks like a brain, which might imply it's in the mind or dreamscape of the crying child. Blonde boy, what you gonna do? Exactly. So I think and also the fact that Golden Freddy just kills you in weird abstract ways that doesn't make any physical sense. Like, I'm assuming Golden Freddy is not physically launching its head at you through the sky in FNaF 2. I think the Golden Freddy we see is just a show of Cassie manipulating someone's perspective or understanding of the world. And their subconscious or conscious. Azoth theory? What is Azoth? Let me look that up. That might be a cool theory name, but Azoth. It's dating in Cthulhu mythos and dream cycle. Kind of. That's interesting. I see the connection there, but I want to look up a word. No, that's not the word. That word wouldn't work. I was thinking maybe azimuth as a word, but that's like celestial bodies. So yeah, I do think Golden Freddy's rule set is about like manipulating the subconscious and dreams and ideas like that. And I think that might be what kills you is you might be like induced into a coma or like induced into brain death by acknowledging Cassidy too long. I mean, that's one of the only ways it can justify what kills you in FNaF 2, you know? Like, what the fuck is happening when that head flies at you? And I do think FNaF World is like the same kind of thing as UCN, just created for the bite victim to like, hey, this is a sanctuary, peaceful place where your mind can exist in peace. I'm working on other shit. I'm gonna have this bear in your head travel around to put things together. For happiest day. Don't worry about it, champ. Just make sure you rest and like fucking put the piece together or whatever. That's kind of how I see FNaF World and Cassie right now, but I got really off track there. But yeah, that's a theory I've been toying with for a while. I just need a better name for it, and I also need to like iron out some of the details. I also have a very related theory. What if we aren't even playing as Michael and Henry just killed some random guy? That would be very funny, but I don't think so. I do think the Wither animatronics are easier to deal with the toys. I mean, Toy Chica is like the easiest character in the game to deal with. But Toy Bonnie is the worst character in the game, so I think they even out a bit. Maybe you could die from a heart attack. It depends on what the hell's happening. Yeah. Oh yeah, so an idea I've toyed with that I've never really been able to iron out, especially not like recently with Help Wanted 2 potentially being around the corner, even though it's not really connected to Help Wanted 2, is the idea that the retcon is something we were not supposed to think about, even when it was mentioned. So let me explain this a little bit. This theory, and it's very crude right now, is that this is an alternative to Ultimate Dream Theory, that the original retcon was that there was no fifth missing kid. The bite victim is just the happiest day kid, unrelated to what we saw previously. So this would be basically a crude, much more loose version of bite victim fifth as the initial retcon. But then Scott realizes, as he says in the FNaF 4 Steam posts, would the community even accept it that way? That story fucking sucks. So he tries to walk it back, and try to invent a new story for Golden Freddy to have alongside the bite victim, and that's what FNaF World would establish with Castermind as the first step in the idea that Golden Freddy is its own separate entity interacting with the bite victim separately. So there is a fifth missing kid who is helping the bite victim. They are not the same person, but the bite victim is the one getting happiest day, even though he's not Golden Freddy. And then while the community doesn't really understand that at the time, everyone just kind of moves on from the idea that the bite victim, no one even notices that change was almost made. So the idea is the retcon would be initially stated, but then kind of like walked back a bit and expanded on in a way that makes actual sense. And then Scott's like, fuck, that was dumb. Didn't happen. Don't look into it. Ignore it. Never happened. That's one theory. Yeah, I do think the toy animatronics just have parts from the original animatronics. That feels like let me pull up the FNaF 2. To me, I think that that's what this teaser was kind of trying to convey. Is the idea that like these things are built from the originals, and Phone Guy directly states that they're reusing parts from the original animatronics or the haunted ones. I think that's the only thing going on with the toys right now. Yeah, so actually, Astrid, you did basically explain it. So 5 kids in FNaF 3 walked back to 4 kids in Bite Victim. Shit, wait, no. 5 kids and Bite Victim. That's kind of like, that's the theory. It's really dumb and weird. But at the same time, I can see a Scott Cawthon desperate to end the series being like, fuck this 5th kid. It's just going to be, I'm just going to make a story just for him. Or like a new guy. Wither Bonnie is awesome. I don't think Mike was ever meant to be part of Henry's family, personally. I could see maybe an argument that the bite victim was, but I think the second Mike is put into sister location, like that, the second you start the game and you see the hand unit tablet thing with Mike on it, we were on the path of Mike Afton. I think that's the core essential to Mike as a character. I feel like Foxy Bro might have been like Mike might be an expansion on Foxy Bro, but I don't really think of them as like starting from the same concept. I think Mike Afton is created, and Scott's like, hey, this could be what happens to the Foxy Bro, and then I can expand on the family there. It's kind of a complicated topic. It's one of those things that's tricky about FNaF is it's clearly not written with one hardcore rule set in mind. There's not one vision that spans 9 games. There is one vision in FNaF 1 that gets expanded upon in FNaF 2, and then gets expanded upon in FNaF 3, then gets fucked with and expanded upon in FNaF 4. Every game, I think, expanded on the previous one until 5. I think Sister Location was the first game Scott was like, okay, this is the story I'm trying to tell, and then he finished it with 6 and expanded upon it a little bit in UCN, which was supposed to be part of 6. And that makes deciphering FNaF very tricky, in my opinion. Is, like I said, to me, it looks like Scott was figuring out a lot of the story as he went. That does not make it invalid, or that does not mean it's all no connections, no anything. Stories can totally be written in improv. Fucking Dragon Ball Z is written that way. Like, Dragon Ball Z went through development hell in many regards of, like, Akira Toriyama's editors constantly butting in, being like, Android 17 isn't that cool. Neither is 16 and 7. Neither is 16 or 17. Or 8. Neither is 18 or 16. Oh, Android 20 and 19? You can't have an old man and clown be the big bad guy. What's this gross cicada bug thing? You really want him to be the bad guy? Now we're talking with Perfect Cell. And shit like that happened all the way through Dragon Ball to some extent. Is my chat? My chat is frozen. I just realized on. Hold on. Let me pull up the stream in YouTube Studio, because my Streamlabs version of the chat is completely warped. No, okay. I was going on a greater rant about FNaF storytelling being similar to how Dragon Ball was made. I understand if that could be very confusing. Who do you commit the bite of 87? I think it's just Mangle. Yeah, to be honest, Mangle's just simple. They have a biting animation. They go from the ceiling, so it makes sense to hit your head. It's just, I mean, like, yeah, it could be Toy Chica, but I don't think it actually matters as much as that the bite did happen. I do want to, just in case, so I'm basically also remastering an unseen video that no one has, originally this was supposed to be a dedicated Squawkscast video. I realized it was better as a live stream because I had more things to say and I wanted to react to chat a little bit more. But one of the things I thought of, sorry, let me regather my thoughts. Not one of the things I thought of. My running interpretation of what Help Wanted 2 is going to be, especially with its wacky Steam page, specifically here, is I think we're just going to be Cassie's dad. Because, like, we have this whole setup of, my dad's a technician. He worked at the Pizzaplex. Wow, he used a Faz wrench. His favorite character was Bonnie. Glam Rock Bonnie. Wow, Bonnie. An engineer or something, or like someone who is very clearly capable or technically advanced, created Mixus, a blue rabbit. And we have an entire game where we are an employee at Fazbear Entertainment, specifically in the Pizzaplex. And I think that's just very interesting. Also, why is Captain Foxy in a cowboy adventure? But that's the log ride that Cassie seems to have been on. Specifically in reference to, like, and the only reason she seems to have been on it was because of her dad. So that's my running interpretation of Help Wanted 2, is probably going to be dad. The weirdest one that threw me off when I read the Steam page, which is, dive into the world of our sister location. These special minigames are VR versions of classic experiences from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. These fan favorites are brought to life to be as fun as they are terrifying. Specifically, the phrasing from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location and our sister location implies that this is a meta sentence. But then we have Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Help Wanted. Or Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. Okay, no, this is not meta. This is not written from an in-universe standpoint. This is written from, we're selling our game. We are Steelwool Studios selling our game. Never mind. That fixes one of my problems I had, which was the line our location is weird, but I don't think, unless the game says itself otherwise, I think this VR booth is just simulating the stories about sister location and not implying sister location is an in-universe game, which is how I first read this. Also, it's so yeah, sister location is going to be VR. That really fucked with me when I first saw all the Help Wanted 2 stuff. I'm like, how are we back in the bunker, and why? Which led to my theory that we as Cassie said we're going to be working our way down through the Pizzaplex and end up in the bunker. Like level by level. But that kind of eliminated that a little bit. I mean, that still might happen, but the other weird thing in this right now, is this girl. How and why is she here? How are we back in the bunker and why Roar did a phobia whenever did what we said? I don't get this one, personally, unless this is also a VR minigame. Like, if this is part of sister location or, how is it phrased? Short and dry, take care of things behind the scenes, staff only, deliver first aid to patients who aren't feeling themselves, and help animatronics. This sentence makes it sound like the helpy sections are real first aid. Or it's supposed to be, and then fucking righty over here. This is one of the weirder ones, but I'm assuming he's going to be explained or not explained. The fact that this bastard is with Circus Baby, Scrap Baby implies she's real, or this is another VR minigame that Scrap Baby's somehow in. I don't get that one right now. I'm going to wait and see, because it's like, why would she be here in any context? Perhaps she didn't melt, but it's like, you're telling me Afton needed the soul of an extremely vengeful, dream-altering demon child to keep him alive, but Baby was just able to, like, walk out of the fire in seemingly mint condition, or the equivalent of mint condition for Scrap Baby. And that's assuming Afton survived the fire, in quotes. We still are it's still kind of ambiguous how Afton's story went, depending on Tales games versus Sichline games versus Parallels and all that shit. Depending on how that all works, we have no clue how Afton's story really went, specifically. I do wonder if the Scrap Baby we're seeing isn't the real original Scrap Baby. But then, if it's not the original Scrap Baby, what the fuck is this? Did someone just be like, remember that murder clown that ran around Utah for a while? What if we just made one of her? And I don't see who or why that would happen. Like, even with the Mimic shit, who benefits out of making Scrap Baby? Other than, like, the loosest idea of someone just really wanting Scrap Baby to be around. Like, you would think you'd make Baby or Elizabeth or something like that as like a weird roll-up. But whatever. I'm sure it will get an explanation. This is too weird to not be explained. Even if it's like a passing mention, I'm sure like, and there's some sort of thing that we made or whatever running around to deal with it. But like I said, I'm not really sure what the Mimic gets out of making Scrap Baby specifically. It could just be Fazbear Entertainment cashing in and making like a monster version of it, but it's still really weird. It's a lot like Springtrap being in AR with like minimal explanation. Like he's acknowledged, and I think if they acknowledge her, and that being weird, like AR, I'll kind of accept it. But it actually being her would be really bizarre. The achievements of Help 2 got leaked. Neo Charlie. Okay, Neo Charlie is the reason I wanted to make this stream and not just wait until after Help 2. Let me set. I just realized I've had this candy bar melting in my pocket this whole stream. I'm gonna set that to the side so it's still like somewhat appealing later. Anyway, FNaF 2 Help 1 Neo Charlie. I do wonder. I did want to make this stream just in case Neo Charlie does appear or someone like her, or whatever this kind of loose theory is. What do you think the Springlock suit from Sister Location is? At this point, if it's not the Tails weird jester costume, I think it's something along those lines. I think it's just some weird random character that was not important enough to the actual story other than the fact that it was a Springlock suit. It's 3 a.m. for some people. I'm sorry. It's 7 p.m. for me. It's not exactly early. I mean, we'll get a lot of answers tomorrow. Oh, here's some funny... I made this whole, like, little document for the failed video I made that was supposed to be basically this stream just pre-recorded. But I have this funny little anecdote. So Tito, stream mod, or not stream, he is also stream moderator if he's in the stream. But he's Discord moderator, personal friend of mine, hang out with him a ton. I'm really into the Digimon trading card game. I'm into Digimon in general, but especially the trading card game right now. Love the trading card game. So he bought me a Digimon booster box of BT14 Blast Ace, the latest set right now. We're going to get a new set in January, but for now, BT14 Blast Ace is the latest one. And I'm like, that's really cool. I actually need some cards in it, and it's always nice to have extra cards from this set. I specifically need some extra Agumons, because they are super rares in this set. And then I get the box from him a little early, ahead of Christmas, because he's like, you can open it early, I don't really care. And I noticed, there's some extra Japanese in this box that isn't on the normal versions of the box set. And I open up the first pack, The promo packs. At the very top of a booster box, you get promo packs. And the promo pack was a Japanese Shardramon. And then it dawns on me as I open the packs. This was a Japanese booster box. Do I like anime girls? Maybe. Who knows? It's not doxing yourself if you say what time zone you're in. Time zones are huge. Like, even if you were like, mine specifically British time, like Hocus, it's like, Britain's big enough that it doesn't really narrow down where you are. But I got a Japanese booster box of Digimon cards, which, unlike Pokemon, do not really have any more value in any special way. You can't use them in the English TCG meta. So I just have a box of Japanese Digimon cards that I can't use other than to sell to the Japanese market. Which is funny because the card pulls I got were actually good enough that they qualified as they made about as much money as Tito spent on the box back if I were to sell them, which I'm trying to sell some of them. I'm not British. I'm saying someone in chat mentioned they were on British time. Yes, I'm British. Yes. That's how British people sound. Everyone knows that. Don't worry about it. That's definitely not just me doing my weird random the Tick Afton voice. But the funniest part is I just have in my hand right now a Japanese copy of Skull Greymon. Skull Greymon's one of my favorite Digimon. I'm like, I guess I got this out of this box. I think it's Fredbear's canon design. I think it's the one we see in UCN. I think it's as simple as that. Bro specific time, so American. Yeah. I do I do live in Oregon. You got me there. Good luck finding where in Oregon. British people sound like supervillains. Sire British confirmed. Yes, my very British, not Pacific Northwest accent clearly shows I'm British. But this, what's even funnier is not only did he give me a Japanese booster box of Digimon cards, my favorite. So some of my favorite Digimon are Gabumon, Skull Greymon, Tyrannomon, Omnimon Alter S, Weregarurumon, I guess also normal Garurumon. Black War Greymon's also pretty high on the list. But Virus Greymon's also pretty cool. Let me pull him up. Virus Greymon. I don't know why. Especially the X antibody version. Yeah, this guy. Virus Greymon. Blue Greymon also. I don't know why. He's always been one of my favorite variants. I'm clearly from Gravity Falls. That's absolutely correct. But oh, actually, Astrid brings up an interesting thing I want to talk about real quick. But let me finish my Digimon rant. But Tito knew that one of my favorite Digimon was Gabumon, and there is a pop Funko of Gabumon. And when he gives me the box with the cards and the Pop Funko in it, I look at the Funko he gave me, and I immediately notice something that I'm like, oh, that's funny. He got me Gomamon. Let me pull up the stream here. This is the Pop Funko. This is Gomamon. This is Gabumon. Why? No, I don't want shopping. No, shut up. Stop. Let me be free. Where's images? Why did the images tab vanish? This is Gabumon. This is one of my favorite Digimon. And he got me Gomamon. He got me Gomamon. And the thing is, I know there's no way in hell, because Gomamon is nowhere near as popular. Gomamon is nowhere near as popular as Gabumon, so I know the only way he got me that was if he intended to get me a Gabumon plush or figure and misread Gomamon and gave it to me. Is Bill with me, sire? Who says I'm not a subject of Bill myself. Anyway, Astra brought up an interesting point in chat, though, that I want to talk about, which is, Golden Freddy's never, ever been called Golden Freddy in universe, period. In no continuity. You can look through the entire Silver Eyes trilogy, and he has never been called Golden Freddy. Specifically as Golden Freddy. Bing is just built into fucking Edge. It's not my fault. I don't search things in Bing unless it's on stream like this to avoid using my main actual browser. Bing does suck, and I'm stuck using it. Because I don't care about Edge to learn how to switch it to Google. He's been called Fredbear, the Yellow Bear, Michael Brooks in the novels. He is not called Golden Freddy. He has only ever been called Golden Freddy in weird contexts that don't fully make sense. He has been called Golden Freddy in the custom night menus and Golden Freddy in FNaF AR. But in universe, no one has ever called him Golden Freddy. He has been named by the community Golden Freddy, but he has always been called Fredbear or the Yellow Rabbit. No, he canonically is called Golden Freddy from a meta standpoint. That is his official name, but he is not in universe called Golden Freddy. It's similar to how Scrap Trap is internally in the game files called... Nope, not even in the fucking graphic novels, to my knowledge. Unless, I mean, you can't control F a graphic novel like you can in the normal books, but I don't think he's ever been called Golden Freddy in the graphic novels. And Springtrap's similar, where he's often called the Yellow Rabbit. I mean, he's actually called Springtrap, though. Oh, by the way, to show how much I like Digimon, this entire image is a Digimon joke. This is Molten Trapmon Alter S. The idea being this is a Jogress or Jogress, however you pronounce it. DNA Digi-Evolve, whatever you want to call it. A fusion of Molten Freddy and Springtrap / Scrap Trap is like what this art is supposed to be. But no one has ever called him Golden Freddy. He's always been Fredbear, the Yellow Bear, that weird, like, the yellow suit, Fredbear, or, like, the name of the spirit in question. In fact, the movie straight up said not Freddy when Cassie asked about it. Or not Cassie, damn, my wires are getting so cut. When Abby asked about it. Yeah, the only difference between Fredbear and... Okay, people point out, like, the hat colors are different. Fredbear can't keep his hat color for, like, the same for the life of him. Because he has a brown hat in FNaF 3, if I remember correctly. He has the purple hat in FNaF 4 in a lot of his appearances. But then then Golden Freddy has the black hat. And then he's back to having the black hat in the fucking movie. Even when he's like, and then in the fucking novels, he's like straight up supposed to be Fredbear. And he still has the black hat. Cassie in the FNaF movie. I don't think they're different. I think it's just a sign that Fredbear has the psychic power to manipulate his hat color. I don't know. I don't think it means as much as people might think it to mean. If you really want it to have meaning, you can just say it's a sign that it's possessed. Similar to how Baby's eye color changes to green and Security Puppet gained tear marks when Charlie possessed it. You could just say Fredbear gains black accessories when it's possessed for whatever reason. Black hair of the child, who knows? Who cares? It is possible there's multiple Springlock suit locations. Consistent colors in FNaF characters, it is impossible. Not to be confused with Abby from Ruin. Fredbear? Yeah, his hat was brown in FNaF 3 for no fucking reason. And everyone brings up, like, color stuff potentially being Scott's one retcon. When that makes even less sense than, like, actual story stuff being a retcon, because it's like, why would Scott change a color for a retcon? What is, like, the incentive, like, I'm going to consider this a conscious retcon to change the coloration? That sounds more like a mistake or just Scott changing his mind about details as he went. A retcon implies, like, oh, I need to change this detail. It's much like people saying, like, Bonnie used to be a purple. It's like, not only is he kind of blue in a lot of his renders, even in FNaF 1, but, like, is that even really a retcon? It just means that one model of him was kind of purpley. Also, it's, like, implies he was consciously, like, I can only have Bonnie be blue moving forward, because Afton needs to be purple. I can't have him be gray or brown or or dark red to be in the shadows. He needs to be purple. Like, I don't get the... Yeah, UCN Bonnie is also pretty damn blue. I actually think his model is blue. We just see him in so many dark, weird lightings that he looks purple. That's my personal take. In Freddy and Friends newspaper, I just made him straight up periwinkle, as requested by the chat. Lavender is also a pretty solid color for him. Yeah, I do think he is purple, like blue in the first game. The lighting of the FNaF one's very, like, bizarre, dark, like, camera-tweaked lighting makes him look purple. Because, like, if you get a jump... Here, let me do this. A real-time experiment. Yeah, both Fredbear and Spring Bonnie have purple accents in their costumes after 4. Granted, that wasn't decided until FNaF 4. Okay. This probably isn't going to look that good. It's probably going to be like a small little window in the corner, but it just doesn't matter. I don't care to make it look good. Let's look at Bonnie a bit. So that kind of bluish, kind of purple, but we're in really dark, limited lighting. Oh, hey, we got this Easter egg. That's pretty blue looking to me. This one's really hard to tell. And that one looks pretty blue. That one's kind of purplish blue. Yeah, amazing visuals, by the way. The looped visuals. I'm sorry about that, but I don't... FNaF 4 is fucking in an arbitrary resolution for some reason. And causes everything to be janky when I boot it up. Yeah, I know the visuals are messed up. Hopefully the stream doesn't get demonetized because of the fucking music. I do think Bonnie's supposed to be blue. I think he just became more blue as time went on. Anyway, Help Wanted 2! Wow! Scrap baby, that's weird, right? That was definitely a completely unrelated arbitrary rant. What the hell's going on with Righty? Righty over here. As he's been nicknamed by the fan base. I really hope this is just a random Freddy who's never explained. Blue, indigo, blurple. I can't wait for Bonnie to call himself Periwinkle in Freddy and Fred's newspaper. Like, there's a lot of times I have an individual, like, gag saved up kind of in my notes. But I just want to be like, I'm not blue, and I'm not purple either. I'm Periwinkle. Like, that line has just been, like, a line or, like, something along those lines has been in my head for a long time. But yeah, we have Righty, the random weird coloration Freddy in FNaF Help Wanted 2. And then we have Roxy, who looks like we're going to be given, like, put these colors on these spots. And then we have Music Man, who we've got a Man a DJ section. And then we got Bonkabon, which looks really fun. Why Urple? Yeah, purple already has blue, so I guess it would be. Bonnie has an accent because he's supposed to be from, like, he's supposed to have, like, a Liverpool accent, which is that's a joke on multiple levels because, he's supposed to have a little bit of, like, the Beatles, Ringo Starr kind of voice going on. He's supposed to have a kind of classic rocker vibe. It's supposed to be a riff on William Afton being inexplicably British. And I wanted Spring Bonnie to be British to connect to William Afton, and I wanted Bonnie to be, like, following in the footsteps or being kind of a fan from the same area as Spring Bonnie, like, I grew up in the same area, I can do this too, kind of angle. Righty has a new Atlantic accent, that would be funny. Do I like baked beans? Eh, they're alright. Bonnie is Ringo confirmed? Sure. Why not? Bonnie is probably the character I'm the most confident in my voice in. I like how the second I stopped ranting about Bonnie's coloration, the view count dropped by 40. Clearly, Bonnie's coloration is the hype information everyone's looking for. What the hell? Alright. It's kind of... There's something kind of disappointing about it not being as batshit as actually having the fun times around. There's something so insane about that knowing it's just VR is like, alright, that's fair. That makes sense. I'm not going to stream Help Wanted 2. I could not stream it if I wanted. Let me explain the history of me trying to stream VR and how it became completely impossible. The second you did my accent was fine when I did it. It was the second I started, I was like, hey, anyway, Help Wanted 2. People just left and vanished. Now we're back to a solid like 110, or 109. But VR, I wanted to stream VR when I first thought of the concept of playing Help Wanted 2. And then it became very, very clear to me that that would not really be possible. Because Astral Spiff went through hell and back to get his VR set up to have a chat box. And I'm thinking, if there is no chat box, what is the point of streaming, really? Why wouldn't I just pre-record it? And if I pre-record it, I can pace out content without just spending a lot of time on it, if that makes sense. Like, so I could record 2 hours of me playing Help Wanted 2, let's say. And I could break that up into sections, like this is me playing the circus, like the carousel level. This is me playing the sister location levels. And I can spread that over multiple days or extended period of time, giving me time to review the footage, watch it all back, theorize, and all that. And to be completely honest, recorded videos would make me some of the money I spent into setting up VR back, because I spent about $90 setting up the VR stuff. I have a pin-on microphone. I had to get a new headset strap because the Oculus Quest 2's built-in strap sucks. I had to get Bluetooth headphones so I could hear the game without it coming out of the headset. And I'm like, videos might make some of that money back if I'm being completely honest, and that would be nice. And also, to get the stream working, it looked like it really trashed Astral Smith's stream from the looks of it. Like, it made the game a lot less playable and stable. And I'm like, I don't want my experience with Help Wanted 2 to be a glitchy, weird mess just for the sake of reading chat. And then I got my actual pin-on microphone, and I looked at the box, and I realized it's Bluetooth, or it's not Bluetooth. It is wireless, but it connects directly to your phone. It does not connect to Bluetooth itself, so I couldn't even stream it if I wanted to without having dogshit audio where you can't hear me half the time. Because pin-on microphones are borderline required for VR play. So, I realized if I wanted to play Help Wanted 2, it was going to be pre-recorded no matter what. And I had no choice in the matter after a bit. So yeah, Help Wanted 2 is going to be pre-recorded. It'll also make it more accessible for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't, like, this is the dumb thing about how YouTube does streaming, or how YouTube treats streaming in general, I should say. Let's go to my view your channel. I hate that they changed how the buttons look. So you will only catch the live stream if it's here and being streamed in real time. If not, if you go to my videos, it's not going to be there. You have to go to live, and you have to know I did a live stream on this, and you have to check the live tab to do that. That's a lot less accessible than it just being on my homepage forever in my videos list. So it will make it a little more accessible. It also allows me to edit it, and to be honest, I'm not the best commentator for live experiences. I often either get really into the game or get so distracted by chat and talking to chat that I don't play the game well. Might have to get Matt Betsy's live mic. I probably will. Eventually, I'll get a mic like it. It will be the same type of microphone, just correctly made so it connects to your computer. What will be nice about having it run through my phone is, because that's how I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be recording it all in GarageBand separately from the stream separately from what's being recorded on my computer, and then I'm just going to sync the audio up and then audio balance it accordingly. Which means regardless, because that was one of my worries with Hellblade 2 actually, was that the game would sound too loud or too quiet when I was playing it. So hopefully this will work around that, because I can audio balance it around. Nightmarionne isn't exactly a mistake name. It just was a name made around the limitations of Scott's file naming system. At least as far as I know. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to record on GarageBand, sync it up with the record on my computer, just with like a clap or something like that. I actually tested it with let me see if I can find this actually in my videos folder. Or actually no, I think, was it a mic bot? Yeah, here you'll see behind the scenes a little bit. Potentially. Me testing VR to make sure it would work. And kind of how that looked. I played a game called Ancient Dungeon VR, which is it's a game I've been playing a lot recently to get used to VR, specifically Steam VR. Making sure I could record it, making sure my computer wouldn't crash, making sure the recording wouldn't crash. And then this is kind of what looks like, where you have me talking to myself in the void. I was still figuring out where to put the microphone, so there's some audio pops, but the premise is proven here. So let's see if I can actually play a game. I'm gonna have to play like this, so I have no risk of. The problem I mainly had was my original recording was laggy for whatever reason, and I fixed that later. But what I did was I just synced it, like at some point somewhere in here. Three, two, one. So yeah, so I just like took this recording, found when I say one, and then when I said 3, 2, 1, there, yeah. 3, 2, 1. And I just lined it up, and that's how I'm gonna make these videos. And then I'm gonna edit out moments where I'm quiet or when there's nothing really being said or valuable. I thought about trying to make it as like an actual video, but it just was so not interesting. Like the recording was so fucking boring. Cause I was trying to like talk FNaF lore while playing, and I could not do it while playing Ancient Dungeon specifically. There was too many times where I'm like, huh, yeah, the thing, ooh, new item. It is not a great, that might be a great stream if I have someone else reading chat, that I can bounce off of and talk to while playing the game. It will not be a good game for streaming on my own. This might be a good game for like a silly surprise stream where I have Tito on to bounce off of, and read chat. It will not be a good game for, just like randomly putting on my channel, because it's so not FNAF related and so not it takes so much of my mental power to be like, oh, spider over there. I mean, there's not spiders. Zombie over there. Hit it. Trip it up. Throw the things at it. Throw the knife at it. The boss is coming. Imagine that FNAF theorizing while playing 100%ing FNAF Hellblade 2. Who did the bite of 69? You know who did. Don't even ask. I'm glad I can make your day a little bit better, hexadecimal. Hopefully the stream can help people if they're having a bad day. Favorite FNaF movie? Favorite human FNaF character? I think it's probably Mike Afton. At least the way I interpret his character. Um, I just find his arc and like the potential he has very satisfying. But I mean, Novel Charlie and Movie Mike are also pretty good. Uh, at times, like I think Charlie gets me more with her funny descriptions of things, like the financially shrewd Santa Claus description of Afton has always stuck with me. I don't know why that specific line, but there's just some funny times where Chica's or not Chica. Someone in chat mentioned Chica, I think, or not. My brain, whatever, Freudian slip, I guess. Where Chica said, Chica definitely said a lot of things at some point in some timeline, but no, where Charlie said, like there's some funny internal thoughts from Charlie's point of view. Uh, I think Mike's a kind of a. I like Mike a little bit more in execution. I think. I think Charlie has a little bit of the what I call the Adventure Time effect, which is when a character has so much screen time in such a long-running series, they kind of inherently become likable and well made because the writers have so much time to get used to making the character and so much time to expand on the character. Carlton also is pretty good. I at times. I'm not the biggest novel expert, so I like a lot of Carlton stuff is a little fuzzy. Uh, I mostly think of him when I think of uh the 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 drawing scene where he tells the MCI kids to attack Afton. That's kind of that's the main one in my head because it's the most talked about scene with him. It's funny that if we're going to pick parallels for FNaF characters to the books and the movies, Abby has more in common with Carlton than she does Elizabeth or Charlie, which is the silliest part about that movie. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah, like Novel Charlie's fine. I think movie Mike in many ways improved on the base Novel Charlie left. I think not Game Charlie either. I like to think Game Charlie died a little later than Novel Charlie did, but not much. I don't see. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think the movie improved on some of the characterization for some of the characters. Any other comments in chat? Abby is kind of like Michael Brooks in some ways, but like, yeah, I can see the Michael Brooks connections. Uh, any last points? I think this is a good point to end the stream. I think we talked through everything. I think I've said a lot of my predictions for Help Wanted 2 and my thoughts on the Mimic and all that. I think the only really thing left for Help Wanted 2 to talk about would be would be if it ever solves Tales games, which I'm unsure if it would. I think people are going to point to the carousel as proof of Tales games. But I think what would end the Tales games debate truly, like what to me would prove Tales games true would be if we saw the storyteller tree. I mean, we're clearly before Ruin, so the Pizzaplex is not going to be destroyed or created or whatever, or it's not going to be in the state it is in Ruin. So we have a chance to see the storyteller tree theoretically, timeline-wise. if we're in the Tales games continuity, or if we're in the Tales continuity. But if we're not, there's no. It probably just won't progress things. Honestly, I feel like if we don't see something like that, we're just going to be stuck in the loop of not actually making any progress on Tales games. Who owns Fazbear Entertainment? I think it's either just new people or potentially if there is continuity involved with Fazbear Frights, it would be Fazbear Frights. If there is continuity involved with Fazbear Entertainment, I think it would be Fazbear's Fright. The horror attraction FNaF 3, because they're some of the only people who are interested in making Freddy stuff and like Freddy's horror content. That could be one thing. Oh yeah, Click Team's new project would be really cool. I'm really excited for that. I do want to make my FNaF Movie 2 script video at some point. The one that has my weird, wacky ass Ella and Abby dream sequence. Because I actually like that moment to me in that dream was like, what I was thinking about, I'm like, no, I know what the theming you could make out of this would be. I know what theming you could do for a FNaF Movie 2. I think Help Wanted 2 will probably just be a patch note kind of game for theorizing. I feel like it's just going to iron out some details, like maybe who's Cassie's dad is, confirm if he's dead, how he died, stuff like that. Iron out potentially a little bit more Mimic background where we can see like the Mimic's box or whatever he was stored in being shipped down below. Something like that. I don't know if Help Wanted 2 is going to be a big lore game changer. Oh, thanks for the $10, Crashmaster. Really nice to see. Thanks a lot right now. To be honest, after spending $90 plus however much Help Wanted 2 is going to come out cost, it is nice to have a bit more cash right now. I mean, I don't get that money until next month, but still, any donations are welcome. But do not feel like you need to donate. But they are very appreciated. I do wonder if Help Wanted 2 will expand on the tally marks. Yeah, I to expand on Crashmaster's comment, I think Tales games can be true, but I want to see the games make effort to do so. It does not feel like FNaF like other than the Mimic really. And even then the Mimic comes with a lot of weird questions and like messy details. We have not gotten something from the novels that feels like, or from the short stories that feels like, wow, this is a FNaF short story thing. And not just like, because the carousel is like, oh, people will probably use the carousel to point to the short stories. But it's like, the idea of a Freddy's carousel is not that specific of an idea. I mean, it was in FNaF 2. And these are clearly based on like a lot of the toy animatronic details. And also, these look more, I mean, maybe they're wooden, but they look more like old plastic or like worn down plastic. When I'm pretty sure the carousel, which short story is it even? I just remember people talking about a carousel. I'm pretty sure that one's wooden. But I'm sure people point to this. But like I said, I want something like The Storyteller or something that feels like this is a short story exclusive concept. Really trying to settle in on something. Oh, Haley Halo, thanks for the $20. OP. Overpowered Potamus. Clearly. Is that a super remote? What is that? Can I, like, respond to that? Can I? Oh, it's a super sticker. That's what it is. Thanks for the $20. Like I said, money does help out right now, but you do not need to donate money if you do not feel like you need to. We do have 2 goats in the stream, clearly. Ba ba. Do you think Scott just forgot to put in the solution to the Fox grid? Maybe. That sounds really weird, though. I could see it being a mistake, though, where, like, the wrong numbers are put in, or, like, the tally marks were copy and pasted instead of being a set of different numbers, and it would be something really simple. Wow, really? Fucking everyone. Okay. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Crisis, etc., etc. Peace on Earth, and God bless everyone this year. Take care of yourselves, and this time for real. Thanks, Hexadecimal, for the $10. We're going to have to start a new farm with how many goats we're getting. God damn. Hope you like goat milk with your eggnog. But seriously, thanks for the $10, Hexadecimal. Mary had 3 little lambs. Happy holidays. Blah, 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 blah. And like that, I think we've already made more money than the Fox Grid video made. Actually, how much did that make? That probably made very... Holiday money is really weird on YouTube, because they jack up the value of, like, every view a ton. Oh, here's something funny with money. There are 2 unfinished drafts of the FNaF movie video, or the out robot kidding MatPat video. Because they were demonetized or partially blocked, because of copyright material. So I didn't even know the FNaF movie songs were copyrighted. Goat milk in your pie. It rocks. I'll have to try that, maybe. I've never played a Bite at Freddy's. Let me look that up. But the FNaF movie Robot Kid video had the Living Tombstone songs in it originally. Like, I actually played a little, like, a soundbite when it was relevant. And that got it demonetized. And then I made a new version without the songs. And then I have one extended clip of Abby and Mike in the movie that got the movie that made it flagged for showing the movie in quotes. Oh, this is a Bite at Freddy's. I think I've seen this around. I just never... Yeah, I think... Those are solid character designs. I think almost any character design can be good if it's, like, given good lighting and shading. Lighting is so damn important to FNaF. Oh, if you bought the FNaF movie was rated R, that's interesting. Oh, the Night Shift Extended is R. I wonder what's added in it. I'm too broke to afford Super Chat, so I'll go back and watch the videos without skipping ads. You don't need to do that, honestly. YouTube's already forcing more ads down people's throats. You really don't need to make that contribution. The thing that scared me the most in the FNaF movie, the Balloon Boy jump scares, that sounds about right. They actually did get me a little bit the first time I saw it. Because I did not expect Balloon Boy to be a little figurine in the closet, or like the lockers. I do have to see the extended version at some point, though. I wonder what's different, potentially. I also do need to get the novelization, because it might be interesting. So, okay, this is the thing with Security Breach, because, like, everyone talks about, like, security breach just to have dark enough lighting. Let me see if I can boot up security breach without it killing my computer. Security breach's default lighting actually is pretty dark. The problem is no one plays on the dark lighting. Everyone plays on higher brightness. Let me see if I can get the stream running. I don't really know. See, does this work? Here. So my file actually got reset on FNaF on let's see if I can get through this opening bit. Oh, they have a little bit of chromatic aberration on the text. I never noticed that. It's a very similar effect I use. Yeah, this is a fresh file. Default lighting. Of course, the opening bit's going to be pretty bright because it's like you're in Freddy's green room. So yeah, SFK. Safe mode. So yeah, this area is pretty bright because, you know.
Shh! Will you shut up?
Who said that?
I did. And down here.
Down where? I still do not see you.
Okay, listen. You were sleeping, so I opened the stomach hatch and climbed inside.
My stomach hatch? That place is reserved for oversized birthday cakes and piñatas. It is not a safe play area. There you are. Scanning complete. How odd. Your guest profile is unknown to me. Who are you?
I'm Gregory.
Gregory. I will notify the main office. Oh. Connection error.
Connection terminated. But you can see it's actually not as brightly lit as people make it out already.
She's not going to let you call for help until she finds me.
Who? Who is looking for you? Your mother?
Shh! I hear footsteps!
That is the security guard. She can help.
No, I don't trust her.
Why not?
I don't know who she is, but she's trying to get me. Isn't there some other way for you to communicate with me besides talking so loudly?
Take this. It is a novelty Freddy Fazwatch.
What was that?
I am sending you an encoded message. Hello, Gregory. It is me, Freddy. I will escort you to the main entrance. However, I am unable to leave this room. You should have no problem. There is a button on the wall that will open the door to the back room. I will make it accessible to you now. Well done, Gregory. There is an open-air vent inside the maintenance room. You will have to climb through the ventilation system and release me from the outside.
Your performance was perfect tonight. Thank you. Your hair.
I never really made Roxy as arrogant as she is in Ruin in Freddy and Friends newspaper. But granted, the kind of interpretation I was running on was, while she's supposed to be full of herself, she's supposed to be a little flanderized in actual security breach because her AI is all screwed up. from and stuff. So like, the idea I was kind of operating on there was, like she shouldn't be as extreme as she is in Ruin. So you can see it's already not as brightly lit as people often make it out. I do want to look at this area around a bit, though. Because clearly they've been down to the bunker if they have these. It'd be really weird if they, like, repurposed Afton's house for these equipment. For this equipment. And then we have bits of Foxy in his jaw here. But he's not in the blob, which is interesting. And then you have a cupcake. Well, it's that same plastic noise texture I talk about when I say, like, I don't think this thing is wooden, and like the carousel. And like, what are these? Like, what am I looking at here? And then there's this bit of, is that like part of, what is that? Is that like an eye? What is that? Oh, let's take a trip over to see the guy. Inexplicable RWQ. And then Bonnie's retcon guitar. Then we have Freddy's microphone. That's not that weird or surprising. Then we have one of their feet. It's unclear which. I think it's Freddy's because of the bow tie and the display case. Then we have the microphone stand. And then we have like what? I guess these are just random animatronic parts. Whatever. My point is this game is not as brightly lit as some people make it out. It's not darkly lit, but like, especially when you fuck with the settings, it really can be night and day at times. Like, if you want, you can play it as dark as you feel fits. Like this. It might be Molten Freddy's eye. It could be. Like,
Good job. Now, please come let me out.
I mean, like, the point of settings in video games are to make it look like what you want to make it look like. If you want Security Breach to look like this, there's nothing stopping you.
Oh, superstar. I knew you could do it. I know how to get you out of here. Climb back into my chest cavity. There is still time, but we must hurry. If I am spotted, I will certainly be taken back to my room. I will escort you to the main exit through the utility tunnels.
It's the one, it was like the weird eye thing I was looking at.
But you better be careful moving.
How screwy can I make?
Around. I don't want to be crushed and twisted into a meat pretzel.
I'll have to beat Security Breach again at some point so I can get my save file back up to date. Being able to look for whatever I want would be nice. Wall endo.
Hello, little boy. If you're down here, say something. She's down here. We have to go back.
Do not worry, Gregory. Even if we are spotted, you are safe with me. She would never suspect we are traveling together. However, we should still do
Here it
our best to
comes.
avoid her.
Here's the line.
I feel you are broken.
Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
No, I feel that something is wrong. I am taking you to the first aid station.
There's no time. I'm fine.
Why would he say you're Oh, Matthew. I was the first. I've seen a couple of things.
Freddy,
High contrast
you're
Freddy.
supposed to be on lockdown.
Officer Vanessa,
Thanks for the $2 though.
I do
I mean, look, any money's money, and that's nice.
Well, you totally blew it tonight, you know. Your system crashed.
Another
and you
goat to
blew
the
it.
herd.
Now, parts and services are on reduced power. They said as a safety precaution. Just one more thing to deal with.
I apologize.
I can't get over that, like, one of the main points towards Gregbot is that he says you're broken, but then he immediately brings you to a human first aid station for no reason if he's a robot.
I already alerted the others. Now, go back to your room.
Let me out.
I told you she was after me.
I said nothing. I will keep you safe. Let us go.
Where are we?
We are now under the Pizzaplex. These utility tunnels connect all the attractions.
We can go anywhere in the building?
Correct. Fazerblast, Monte Golf, Roxy Raceway. They are all accessible to staff, with high enough clearance, of course. Guests are never allowed down here, but yours is a special situation.
I love Kellengoff's performance of Freddy. There's something about it that some of the lines just really stand out to me. What would happen if Freddy ran out of power here? Would he kill you like assuming that could happen? Would he kill you like he does later when he runs out of power, or is that caused?
I am terribly sorry. The recharge cycle had not yet completed when I found you. You must continue without me. I will guide you on your fast watch in case you get it.
Okay, I just wanted to save to that point to show, yes, a Gear Bridge can look dark visually if you wanted it to. I mean, it's not going to be dark story times wise, but anyway, Glam Plush. What the hell is Glam Plush? Is it that Glamrock Freddy is the Fredbear plush? Can I get an explanation of what Glam Plush is? I see. What the fuck is a Glam Plush theory? What's your opinion on Glam Plush? You say that like it's a theory that I just know. To the Fredbear plush in some way? How? Where did you Giraffe Town and Kerbal Space Program fit into the FNaF timeline? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Giraffe Town's right after FNaF 4, and then Kerbal Space Program's right after UCN. I don't see why or how Glamrock Freddy would be related to the Fredbear plush. I don't see what the storytelling purpose of that, the evidence purpose, like the evidence that would spawn that. I don't get that one. We have really gotten off track from the original premise of the stream. I think it's about time to end it. It's about 2 hours in, and I've been talking about a lot of things. Mimic plushes? What the hell? Like, I don't like saying theories are just dumb right now, like, anymore. I kind of did for a while, but that's still, like, I don't see how you would ever get to that. Like, other than he is a bear and nice. I don't see how you get I mean, second from Fredbear isn't even that nice. He's kind of a prick at times. This was fun. I do think this is a good cutting off point, though. Talk about a lot of things. It's like 4 a.m. for some people. It's been a wild ride. I'll see you all guys in the first episode of Help Wanted 2, which I'll probably record pretty quickly. Bye.